Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to Boter Plays Something. We are playing Coffee Talk 2, Hibiscus and Butterfly. It is a quiet night in the cafe. Just two guests, passing like ships in the night, making for a long yet intimate conversation with a couple of our regulars. I'm Boter. Let's play something. Thursday, September 28th, 2023. New image recognition tech confuses gnomes with dwarves. A review. Ugh. Oh boy. It kind of goes how like, hey look, here's a thing that's supposed to make it convenient for everybody, but we only tested it with white males, so it's like, oh yeah, the automatic taps in the bathroom that don't work for black people because it can't see them the same way. They're like, stuff like that. It wasn't tested with a large enough sample size, and now it's out in the wild and it's like, oh, well, that's great. Not only getting confused within these other species that it wasn't originally tested with, but between them, good job. Anyway, robots asked to give ultimate advice, and elven burnout is real. Here's how to avoid it. Walk in. What do we got for stories today? No delivery from Riona, so maybe we'll see her today. Myrtle just spent almost 2 hours checking on the mobile games in the App Store. The amount of copycat games is just staggering. Yeah, that's rough. Good evening. Officer Georgie, welcome. Hey, Boter. How you doing? Officer? Oh, sorry. My mind's kind of elsewhere right now. No worries. Work issues? What else? I'm all ears if you want to chat. You're a pal. I'm in a real bind, Boter. What happened? Well, never-ending workplace issues aside, things are getting weirder by the minute and I'm feeling out of my depth. You talking about your recent patrols? Yeah. I've been analyzing the CCTV footage the last couple of days. I see. How'd it go? Did the cameras manage to capture anything? Yeah, yes and no. Infrared's caught a couple of blurry things. They ran off, turned a corner, disappeared. Could have been anything, like rats, cats. Neither fits what I heard on the scene. Footsteps, you know, the laughter. Come to think of it, sounded more like giggles. Giggles. Can werbeasts giggle? Not at that size, no. Even if they could, it doesn't explain the footsteps, really. We haven't met any Fae folk in this, but they've mentioned how they exist, so I wonder if just there's very few, and so Georgie wouldn't really have experience with them. I see. So what's next? I have some ideas, but they're just wild theories at this point. Saw I had the notification. In short, I'm stumped. You know, Boter, I've been racking my brain ever since Miss Riona dropped the bomb about the fairies, you see. Oh, what about them? As it turns out, fairies was an umbrella term for many types of beings. Anything that don't fit into known physical rules at the time was to be referred to as such. Oh, Does that mean banshees were part of the fairy folk? Probably. Not anymore, though. It's an ongoing process, but the list is getting shorter. But back then, any sentient being that was even remotely incomprehensible was considered that. And that includes apparitions. Apparitions? Yes. Apparitions like ghosts. Ghosts? Ghosts? I see. What do you mean, I see? Huh? Doesn't it sound like a bad joke to you? I'm losing it with Georgie's voice. I'm trying to give him a slight drawl because of how some of his stuff's written out, but I'm not sure I follow. But come on, ghosts don't exist. Do they? Because if they do, all I can think about is that damn tree now. Right, the tree. Does that mean it's haunted? It could be. Don't get how you can be so calm about all this. Huh? Well, why wouldn't I be? Maybe I'm a ghost. I mean, there's been all sorts of customers here. Some of them are so out of this world, even. Sometimes literally. You're right. I guess you're not the one being weird here. Hey, don't say that. Everyone has their own peccadillos. A small, relatively unimportant offense or sin. Sounds like you're trying to use a term for pet peeves, and that's not quite what lines up. True that. If you don't mind telling me, though, can I ask the reason you're so afraid of ghosts? Gosh, no. That's a long story. Not something I'm ready to talk about anyway. That's understandable. All I need to know is my fear was never caused by actual ghosts. Oh? Suggestion's a powerful thing, Boter, but that's all I'm willing to share. For now. Alright, well, thanks for sharing. Whenever you're ready. You know, it's funny. My grandpa was very into this stuff. So's my daughter. They're like my opposites, very curious and fascinated by the unknown. Not that I'm not, mind you. It's just with my time as a cop and all, unknown variables usually mean trouble. I see, that makes sense. They're the kinds of people who can see things from nothing. I mean that in the best way possible. Like, you know the Zen rock garden thing from Japan? They understand the Zenness of it. I don't, but that doesn't stop me from thinking it's chill, you know? I think you almost got it. Yeah? Oh, sorry, I think you almost got it. Yeah? I'm sure he and my daughter could talk about it for hours. Too bad he passed away before she was born. I'm sorry to hear it. Don't be. On that note, Boter, you seen my lighter, right? I'd say I'm pretty well acquainted with it now, yes? My bad. That thing was originally my grandpa's. He bought it sometime after the war ended. It was to commemorate the upcoming new era, he said. In more ways than one. He got honorably discharged due to a severe leg injury. He'd never be able to... Excuse me, sorry. A severe leg injury he'd never be able to recover from. Ah. At the time, he was living right across the street from the former town hall. For obvious reasons, he couldn't walk far, so it was a good location for him, with all the veteran support nearby and all. Right? Now, about that street. See, my grandpa liked to chat. Never liked being alone, that guy. Plus, he pretty much hated his bleak room. So sometimes he'd go and hang out with the street vendors in front of his place. There were all kinds of beings there, along with their pets from all walks of life. That's why I had a lot of stories about the craziest things. I see. You see, the street's name just came to my mind last night. You take a guess to what it is? You mean... Bourne Street, uh-huh. Wouldn't call it that before, that's why the whole thing didn't click for me straight away. But I went through his files and it checks out. Does that mean the vendors he was talking about? Bingo. And you know what? He bought the lighter there. Wow, that's a coincidence. You sure it's only a coincidence? I don't think so. It doesn't seem that unlikely, but okay, we'll roll with it. What do you mean? Come on. Ain't no way they're just coincidences, Boter. Everything's lining up too perfectly, if you ask me. You are really self-centering the story of what's going on here. Uh-oh. Think about what's happened so far. It's my team that found out about the vandalism before they dumped the whole case on me. Then my car was hit out of everyone's. Right? Then my luck started tanking. The broken mug, the fan, the black cat. Just tons of weird stuff happened in the past week alone, you see. Right? Then one thing led to another. My team was chosen to lead the investigation. And tell me who's in charge of the case. Me. And there's the Banshee lady, your patron, with some information I wouldn't have thought of. Dead tree stuff, the fairy market. Information I wouldn't have even remembered on my own. Right? And now we know why I kept on losing my lighter, right? How are they not connected? Tell me. Well, if you list them all in order like that, I'm telling you, Boter, this place is calling for me. This case is made for me. But they really picked the wrong guy. I'm just real bad at dealing with spooks. Make me question everything I've ever known, you know? I mean, it's not a bad thing to reevaluate your worldview now and then. I always thought you were pretty good at handling ambiguity, officer. Not when it comes to the supernatural stuff, because we don't even know about what's real and what's not. Isn't that kind of racist to call it supernatural when they're just other forms of living beings that you're less familiar with? Cop being racist, who'd have thunk? What'll they do? Will they hurt us? Do they bring bad luck, good luck? What's the truth? Who knows? Maybe you should take a day off and catch up on your sleep. Oh, what's that? No, nothing. You know, another patron of mine suggested a documentary to watch. Yeah? The focus was on interesting drinks from around the world. You could find everything from the mundane to the extreme. From local comforts to really special stuff. And I kept thinking one particular drink might interest you. Yeah? It's something like a protection drink. It's made of coffee, honey, lemon, and a slew of other ingredients. Huh. Protection from what, though? Evil spirits and bad luck, I think. Maybe it'll help ease your mind a bit? Yeah, gotcha. But Boter, even if the whole situation is haunted, there shouldn't be any evil spirits, right? I wouldn't know, but I might need your lighter. What for? Well, the drink needs to be lit up. I just think your lighter might give it that extra magic boost it needs. Compared to just using a regular flame, I mean. What are you gonna make me, anyway? It's something with enough alcohol content to be flammable. Clearly. Nah, I trust you. Here. Officer Georgie's lighter. It exudes an interesting feel. Alright, make me this magical drink you learned, Boter. Okay, that was... coffee, honey, lemon. Make sure to give the lighter back. That looks fucking sick. I just want that as a gift. I know more like Rick and Mortis isn't here anymore. I think she made it to the movie she was going to. So I'm just gonna send her a really quick clip of this. Yeah, fire. It does look really cool. Let me see here. Bring up here. And send. There. Alright, serve that up. God, I wish it would look like that in front of him, too. Oh, wow. The drink does light up, huh? Yep, special just for you. So, don't tell anybody. Roger that. Here you go. Oh, careful. God, dang, Boter. It really is something else. Sure it's okay to drink? I have no idea. But I'll take responsibility if anything happens. I'm sure if I injured a cop, even if he's off duty, then, you know, my place would immediately get shut down for no reason. Huh. I'm just being silly, aren't I? Sorry for bothering you with all this stuff, Boter. You even made me this crazy drink to make me feel better. Yeah, don't say that. I'm always happy to help however I can. Thanks. Man, at least with crooks you can actually deal directly with them, you know? Not the case with apparitions. Not with that attitude. Huh? Unlock conversation with Detective McQueen. Okay, so first off, the door did not chime. The door did not chime, folks. This fella's a ghosty. And also, considering it was an achievement, this might be an optional side thing if I, you know, had messed something up. Everything can be caught with a little elbow grease. Not actual elbow grease, I won't make that mistake again. McQueen? Is that you? Hello, Williams. It's been a while. Heh, it is you. Surprises just keep on coming this week. Let me get over there. You know each other? More or less. We were brunch buddies. Hey, brunch buddies! That should be the community name, brunch buddies. Brunch buddies? Brunch buddies. I feel like I meant to say brunch buddies in that same serious tone, but I don't like to talk about it. I still get nightmares. I feel ya. Wasn't sure we were gonna make it out alive. We were truly the lucky ones. Without a doubt. I'll just take both your words for it. Did you guys meet for brunch and then he died and that's why he's a ghost and didn't set off my ring-a-ling? Brunch buddies. Brunch buddies. Good. Because I don't like to talk about it. So what brings you here, detective? Surely it's not the coffee. Secret police reasons. I've not read the briefing yet, but enough about me. Tell me about your supernatural problems. Yeah? You need to bust a ghost? Oh. Well, busting might be a bit much, even if it does make me feel good. I was just talking to Boter about getting over my fear of that stuff. And ghosts. Something like that. I'm weak against ghostly looking stuff. Quick, what Pokemon is weak to ghost type? What general type disadvantage? Or what does ghost have a type advantage over? Tell me, and then we'll know what type of Pokemon Officer Georgie is. I get freaked out easily. For example, I admit I got a little spooked with what happened on Bourne Street the other day. I remember that? Huh. I know very well that unchecked fear leads to prejudice. That's why it's a no-no in my book. Psychic. Okay. It even pains me to admit that out loud. Sometimes the toughest case to crack is ourselves. Other times it's ghosts. How do you do it, detective? Your cases, man. I'd have probably lost all my hair by now if I were you. But here you are, not looking a day older than when we met for brunch 20 years ago. Oh no! I try not to think about it all that much. Are you all clean? Are you all clean? Katusha! Katusha! Somebody just went to the groomer, came and said hi, and then like ran away. Katusha! She had like a little ribbon around her neck? Oh, see my little girl! And when I do think about it, I think, who else will do it? Nobody, that's who. Yeah, that makes sense. You know, once you get over the dead part, they're just like you and me. Look, I remember this one case we were investigating a haunted apartment. This lady, her husband had recently passed away, but wasn't moving on, if you get my drift. Real deadbeat, couldn't take a hint. Anyway, we had to go in and exorcise the place, right? But the husband, he's caught wind, and he's retreated to the basement. I won't get into the technicalities of it, but it's harder to get a ghost out of a basement or attic. It's all about angles, really. I mean, I get it. That used to be his home. All his stuff is still there. It's hard, I get that. So I'm slowly going down the stairs to try to coax him out. Bam! Next minute, all this romantic music is playing. The whole place is lit by a spotlight. Basic sensory illusions, classic ghost tricks. Then, before I knew what hit me, I'm sitting at this pottery wheel and he's behind me. Wait. Isn't this the plot of the 1990 film Ghost? Oh. Maybe? We had a movie night at work and I dozed off before it started. The story must have slipped into my subconscious. Riveting. Jesus. I don't want to be a cop coffee shop. Okay, Seattle Police Department, TL? Hey, detective. Hey, people I don't know. Did you get your important errand sorted? Sure did. Dooley, I can see crumbs stuck to your face. That's just the rain. It's very bready rain. There's filling all over your top. That's blood from a gunshot wound. It healed up, though. You're literally holding the receipt from the donut shop. That's why they pay you the big bucks, detective. A cop-free shop. Yeah, I don't want that. So what or miss? We were talking about getting rid of Officer Williams' fear of ghosts. Hey. Ghosts? Yeah, you're afraid of them, right, Dooley? No idea. Never met one. We stopped a ghost riot. Pfft, ghosts aren't real. So you don't need to be scared of them. Easy. There you go, I guess. Sorry that wasn't much help. Nah, what you said, that they're just like us, that's a good thing to be reminded of. Exactly. They used to be alive, just like us. As long as they don't try to eat, possess, violently murder you, you should be fine. Yeah, very reassuring. Just talk to them. Feel their culture, listen to their issues and spectral wails. Treat them like any other person. See what's on the inside. But it should be easy, since you can see right through them. Thought you didn't believe in ghosts. It's best not to overthink anything he says. I certainly don't. You're a cop. You have a gun. And you can't string two sentences together without them, like, contradicting each other. Hey, Cap. Yeah. Well, thanks for the advice. Think it'll help. Our pleasure. Now, Dooley, I think we should read that case briefing and find out why we're here. Already did. I didn't know you could read. Turns out we're meant to arrest the person driving that taxi. Instead of taking it all the way to Seattle, yes. Why? The driver was a chupacabra. Okay, let's get out of here, Dooley. Good luck, officer. Thanks, McQueen. A lot. You too, Officer Dooley. Bye, guy. Good luck with your rat problem or whatever. Bye, Coffee Wizard. Take care. I'm glad the cop day wasn't on my anniversary. Well, that was something. Well, what do you know, Boter? Looks like my good luck's back. I'm feeling like $1 million now. Glad you do. I was doing the wrong voice. Thanks anyway, Boter. His voice is more back here. I really didn't do much. You gonna be okay? Okay enough to start thinking about what to do next. I'm done here for the night. You have a good evening, alright? Yeah, keep me updated, officer, and stay safe. Will do. Spell-laden, alcohol-imbued Galician drink is known to ward off evil spirits. Just look at it. Yeah, like, we definitely got him enough alcohol that it's flammable. I hope you're not going on patrol right now. One cop, fine. More than that, just, Alright, maybe I'll go check the stock and... Hope he picks up his lighter. Miss Riona, welcome! Hello. How's traffic out there? It's a mess. There's construction work taking place on Leonora Avenue. I can imagine the gridlock already. Fortunately, I have no deliveries to make today. Oh, that's great. I'm happy you're here. So, anything I can make for you this evening? I'd like something for my throat. I'd appreciate a cup of tea infused with some lemon, a touch of honey. Tea, lemon, honey. Right, a Midsummer Night's Dream for you as well. A couple warm Midsummer Night's Dream for you, miss. That's what we call it here. How whimsical. It's wonderful. Sweet, but well balanced with the lemon, and the slight bitterness of the tea completes the taste. Thank you. You're so very welcome. By the way, you just missed Officer Georgie by a few seconds. Is that so? How is he? He's been thinking about what you said quite a bit, actually. Oh? He's currently dealing with plenty of clues he isn't used to. That's why he's hard at work at the moment. I see. Would you mind doing me a favor? Oh, what do you need? Could you give my contact information to him? We only connected via Bluetooth last time, so... Oh? An email address and phone number written on it belonging to Riona Sheeran. What I said a few days ago may have been a bit overwhelming. It is possible that I spoke more than was necessary, all because I couldn't help but feel a pang of bitterness knowing what happened to the tree. That's entirely understandable, though. But it is not my intention to interfere with his work. As such, if he requires any assistance, please do let me know. It is the least I could do, as I realized there would be plenty of difficulty obtaining information. I mean, because Officer Georgie is a human. And we semi-physical beings have our own way of sharing information as such. I understand what you mean. Okay. I just do not wish to incriminate anything or anyone. It's fine, I get it. I'm glad. I'd say you've already helped him out in more ways than one. Sorry, did you say something? I was zoning out a little. No, nothing. I'll pass this off to him. Okay, thank you. You're welcome. Bad traffic aside, how are you? To be honest, I've had a lot on my mind of late. Hey, Steffi. Griff Google wishes you / us a happy anniversary because the in-game day was the 27th of September.
Okay, well, thank you.
Yeah, our 10-year wedding anniversary because this takes place slightly in the future. To be honest, I've had a lot on my mind of late, and I don't know how to express it without sounding pathetic. You know I'm all ears. The physical shot of the barista is literally just like Biblical Angel, but ears. That may actually be part of the problem, I'm afraid. Pardon? You know, I've held more conversations with more individuals over the past week than I have in the past few years. Is that a bad thing? Good thing? It's troubling. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Never mean to push anyone out of their comfort zones. I don't mean it necessarily in a negative way. It's just... I used to believe that I had a settled life objective, but I've been doubting it recently. Well, you and Hyde both. You know, I'll tell you the same thing I told him. Nothing goes forever. Includes careers, contentment with life, etc. Just keep working at it. Things change. Gotta roll with it. Do your best. How come? I finally heard back from Miss Rachel yesterday. Oh, any good news? No. Our fields are admittedly quite different, so I was not expecting much. However, she provided me with some contacts who may be of assistance, even though they had no direct connection to the audience I am trying to reach. I see. She explained clearly why she thinks I should contact them, however, which I am thankful for. Well, that's thoughtful of her. So, what's the battle plan? And why are you doubting yourself? In essence, the advice is to slowly increase my network, to make myself known. Oh? Sounds familiar, doesn't it? You can probably guess my concern about it. I think so, but you could give me a refresher, just so I don't misunderstand where you're coming from right now. I feel like that would be a shortcut, so to speak. Right. She did, however, remind me of an important and humbling fact. And what would that be? Well... Oh, but it's not guaranteed you'll get anything out of it, don't you think? Unless you're really, really sure this so-called shortcut is 100% gonna work. Because you'll have to do way, way more than just making a few calls and waiting for callbacks, you know? Oh, I should have actually done it in Rachel's voice. I'd say that's a decent impression of her. Thank you. After that, she told me a story about her early career experiences, both the good and the bad. Getting noticed is truly only the beginning. Then it's either a matter of letting your talent speak for you, or you go out there to develop connections with the right people. Even then, there's still no guarantee of success. After listening to her explanation, I respect Miss Rachel's determination. I can certainly see how it worked out for her. But then I was left wondering whether Mr. Lucas meant something similar during our first meeting. Right, I thought it all sounded familiar. Are you gonna try your suggestion then? I don't know. Is it difficult? No more difficult than sending reels to every edition I've come across, and being rejected by every single one. But for some reason, I feel conflicted about it. Speaking of Mr. Lucas, he and I have also continued our correspondence, although perhaps it was more like a necessity. Did something happen? He was stuck? Pardon? Actually, he posted about it on social media last night. Oh? Oh, I might have seen it. I don't remember. I saw that he said something and she responded, and I kind of ignored it because it seemed naive of her to respond like to one-on-one friend talking to you on a public social media that is clearly like angled towards fans, so I didn't pay it much mind. Sorry, Rihanna. Refresh me. Did you? I came across it when I was updating my schedule and responded out of concern. Then he called me almost immediately. He was loud. All sounds in order. And extremely drunk. Really? He denied it at first, but it was too obvious not to notice. He told me he was walking aimlessly, deep in thought, and entered Cary Park without realizing he'd done so. Oh yeah, I saw the like, LOL, I'm lost, and she was like, do you need help? Something like that. I remember that. Must have been some deep thinking he was doing, because I think it rained pretty hard last night. Oh well, I wouldn't know. The bus to and from there is currently not operating after 10 p.m. Which is why I sent him a message informing him of that fact, as he seemed to be unaware of it. Right. So he called me to ask if there was any other mode of public transit nearby. Wouldn't it have been easier for him to just call a cab? He told me he wanted to know the city better. At midnight? Why not? After all, you operate your business after dark yourself. Touché. Perhaps he just didn't want to go home yet. And I might be mistaken here, but I thought he doesn't like drinking. Wasn't it partying? Nevertheless, I think last night was quite different. Well, I don't remember that, not liking partying and stuff. I remember him, like, kind of being, over with the scene, but, it's still kind of in keeping with his idiom. Idiom, sir. To be like that. It appears he had dinner with his team, and he needed the extra courage in order to negotiate with them about his proposed new direction. Oh. I see. I suppose it didn't go as expected. Perhaps. And I know that feeling all too well. However, he said he'll keep negotiating until they reach a compromise. That's good. Maybe he shouldn't be drunk for the next negotiation. Is it, though? Miss Rachel told me about the hoops she had to jump through at the beginning of her career with her teammates as well. Likewise, Mr. Lucas has to work hard to obtain approval from his team for his actions. How can they still be so positive? What do you mean? I just cannot picture myself convincing others to give me a chance like that. I almost wanted to ask. Why do we have to be at the mercy of others in order to succeed or fail? Can't talent speak for itself? But if I truly believed that, with the number of rejections I've received so far, I should have stopped a long time ago, shouldn't I? Right, that's why it doesn't work that way. What do you mean? To let talent speak for itself, we would all have to have the same standards. I see what you mean. Art would cease to be art if it were standardized, wouldn't it? However, doesn't that imply that everything still depends on the whims of the individual judging you at that moment? How does someone like Miss Rachel or Mr. Lucas manage to be fine with that? Perhaps because they don't see it as the be-all, end-all? What do you mean? Rather than viewing them as judges with the authority to determine their fates, perhaps they simply see them as hills to either overcome or avoid, if that makes sense. Just a matter of perspective as to where the power lies. This is really interesting. This is like two scenes on the same night, because we had the cop scene, they left, and then Riona came in and it's a one-on-one. And usually this game does such a really good job of like weaving the stories together. And considering that Riona and Georgie talked so much, I don't know, it's not bad, it's just different for this game to do it like this. But it's not easy to climb those hills, especially if you've never done it before. I think Mr. Lucas and Miss Rachel see their teams as groups for this mountain climbing, this hill climbing, and navigation. They're able to climb hills because other people are helping them do so. They have that network to do it. But when you have a team, they are going to have their own input on what hills you should climb and which ones you should go around. Therefore, it's good to try and find out what works for you, or ask for guidance or assistance even. Because one can't possibly know every single way to overcome obstacles, or to be able to safely recognize warning signs without first learning about them from others. Is that what you're trying to say? I see. Still. Miss Riona? Yes, sorry, I got a bit lost in my thoughts. You're fine, I promise. Speaking of Mr. Lucas, what happened to him after the call? I picked him up and drove him home. Oh. I thought you were located in Bellevue? I am. But I still had unfinished business in the downtown area. Moreover, he suddenly began singing quite loudly near the end of our call, which led me to conclude that it would be best for me to go and fetch him. I see. Oh, sorry, I see. How was his singing, in your opinion? It wasn't too bad. If not for the fact that he was screaming most of the lyrics, that is. Well, his hoodie was soaked when I arrived, so I had to take it off before getting into my car. Thankfully, the water did not completely soak through to his shirt, so he remained relatively dry. However, I still had to lay down the seat covers as his fur got rather wet. Ah, hope he didn't get sick then. Aside from all that, was he okay? Considering the situation you mentioned earlier, I mean? Well, he happily asked me to do karaoke with him, which I declined. Probably for the best. Could have been entertaining, though. I ended up taking him for a drive, though, as I needed to take care of my unfinished business. A late-night delivery? No, I was buying a pie. At midnight? Yes. Why, concerned you may have a competitor? No, not at all. Maybe a little bit. Maybe I could team up with them and stock pies in my shop? Oh, Boter, you will be fine. I sort of want to know just so I can inform Officer Georgie about it. Oh, why? His daughter loves pies. When his car was vandalized, Officer Georgie had plans to buy pies for his family's get-together. But the report took a while, and the weather was bad. By the time he was able to get a taxi, he thought everything was already closed. I see. But he takes pride in being a Seattleite, so I wonder if he knows about it already. Well, it is a very small kiosk attached to a pub. Very easy to miss. The spot is known as Disco Pie, and it serves fresh pies until 1 a.m. Interesting. Good to know, thanks. Getting back to the story, though, you both went for pies, then? Yes, and that seemed to fascinate him for some reason. What'd you each get? He ordered a slice of warm apple crumble with a scoop of French vanilla ice cream on top. And a large cup of piping hot coffee with a little bit of milk. Ouch. I feel betrayed. Truly. Oh. But it was my suggestion since I thought he needed to warm up. Double ouch. I apologize. I'll live. Little piece of advice though. A glass of warm water might be better for the inebriated. Coffee's not the best at retaining fluids and thus preventing hangovers. Oh, that's really good information to know. This is why you're the best barista, Boter. Thank you. Best barista, Boter! Okay, my feelings are hurt slightly less now. And what'd you get for yourself? I had a slice of hibiscus blueberry mint pie myself. And just so you know, I did not order anything to drink. Good. Drinks aside, what an interesting combination for a pie. How'd you like it? I enjoyed it. You serve hibiscus here too, don't you? I'll remember to order it next time. Please do. And so we continued our conversation afterwards. That was when he told me he'd not given up on his goal despite the many disappointments with his team. He also told me why he doesn't drive at all. Really? Why? It's... On second thought, it may be better to hear the story directly from him another time. I apologize. Yeah, no problem, I understand. We also discussed quite a few things we have in common. Really? Yes, surprisingly. And before we knew it, it was already nearing 5 a.m. Must have been a gripping conversation. I'm not sure. However, his exhaustion seemed to finally catch up with him then, so I drove him home. Weren't you tired as well? No. I should go now. Alright, will you be okay? I have a lot to think about. Thank you for being patient with my concerns, Boter. No problem at all. Anytime. Have a good evening then, Boter. Come back again soon. That day went longer. Almost thought it was going to be a quick one, but incoming Riona.